Tenet 23. Humanity may or may not choose to take responsibility for itself. I must tell you, the word God implies that we are not responsible for what we are, where we are, why we are, how we are, when we believe we are, and truly, we are not responsible for any of this. I think that this is what all this is supposed to ultimately teach us as we derive our own lessons from our perceptions of the universe. If you believe in a God, then you really have no responsibility for what you are because it made you and has a plan that you could not possibly alter. It knows and controls everything, not you. How does that make you feel? You are the universe aware of itself. How does that make you feel? You give your life to God and not to yourself blindly. There is no need for that. In truth, we did not cause our own existence and thus are not responsible for anything at all, not the crimes we commit, the atrocities, or the sick, twisted deeds. The good deeds that we have done, we are not responsible for either. There is nothing that is responsible for our existence and our creations. No reason at all. Here's where it gets interesting for us. We choose to take responsibility for parts of the universe. We just do not think about it that way. You say, "That is my house." It is not yours. Nothing is truly yours. You take responsibility for it, though. Everything that you call yours is you, as a part of the universe, taking responsibility for some other part of the universe. You are not even responsible for taking responsibility in the first place. It is better if you are aware that you are taking responsibility for things, though, so that you do not destroy things that you are aware of. Responsibility is something that you decide upon at some given moment, or it is assigned to you by others. You can choose to accept them or reject the responsibilities that you put upon yourself and that others place and have placed upon you. It is time to start thinking about all that. Again, you are not responsible for anything that you do. You choose to take responsibility for the things that you do. If you do not choose, you will do things anyway and will not be taking responsibility for them within yourself. You would be lying to yourself at that point, and that is strange. Why would you lie to yourself? Oh, because you are scared of what you have to tell yourself. Truly, I despise the word gods just because of the baggage that it carries with it. I have many conversations about the word and its usage. We are not gods. We are more. We are real. We came about as a result, as a product of the universe and the ways in which it moves as we have observed, studied, researched, probed, debated, and contemplated it. You look at its vastness and its infinite nature and you realize that you are it and that you harbor part of the power that it possesses. With great power comes great responsibility. The artichoke reminds us, power is nothing without perception. If something else is responsible for us, what are we to think of such an energetic, existent being? I'll tell you what. Nothing. If there were such a thing, it takes zero responsibility for its creation and expects us to. Sounds like a God complex. We need to take so much more responsibility for each other. To some extent, we have these systems in place already. We call them law, order, and the legal system. The way we have created it is flawed, though. We need to continue our revisions towards laws that make sense for humans who can do whatever they wish to themselves but must be stopped when causing harm to others, be it mental, emotional, or physical. Help change it where you are and inside of yourself. You are the only loud, booming voice in your head, and you have many contradicting voices, ideas, and thoughts that do not quite work well with one another. You have the ability to reconcile these thoughts, for they can come together to create new thoughts that work much better for you. You have that power if you only take that time to work it out within yourself. It takes time, it takes work, and it takes facing all that you fear most, everything inside yourself that screams at you that everything is wrong and that you seem powerless. But you are not powerless, quite the opposite. You have more power than you know what to do with. Most of you do not even realize how much power you truly have. Understanding this will help focus this power however you wish. Energy emanates out of you, with or without your awareness. Why not be aware? Think about it. When you come to realize that another civilization believes in some array of gods, you think, wow, what an interesting way of believing. We have come so far from that. The civilizations on this planet have come up with so many gods and powers and spirits that all of them can be seen as kind of funny. You know, a little behind the times, not quite up to date with what has been discovered. You know there is no sun god or wind god. You can imagine little tribes people who do all kinds of rituals and sacrifices, and you think, is all that really necessary? We know so much more now. You are those little tribes people still. You still believe in many false things, and you still perform rituals and sacrifices for no apparent reason. We need to take a long break from the word before we can even be funny about it without causing a freaking revival.